I'm back with New Yorker Joe Bolanos. We're talking about January 6th. Joe, you're describing the scene at the rally and at the Washington Monument, and you see people. Some of them left, and some of them, you said, were going toward the Capitol. You walked toward the Capitol, but at some point you made a decision. I'm not going in. Talk about that and why you made that decision.
It was very cold that day, and so I hadn't hooked up with my friend and her friend yet. So we agreed to go to their hotel room, warm up a little bit, have some snacks, and then we decided to go to the Capitol, walk to the Capitol. We were walking with thousands of people around us until we finally got to a part of the Capitol where in the background you could see some creeps climbing the walls of the perimeter of the Capitol. And I said to the two friends, I said, this is where we're stopping right here. We're not going any further. And so we stopped. And then suddenly our phones went off, all the phones in the area that Mayor Bowser had just activated or was announcing the activation of the National Guard. And at that point, I said to the two ladies, I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of tear gas and rubber bullets. I said, let's get out of here. And so we turned and we went back to the hotel. Never near the entrance to the Capitol, never in the Capitol. As a matter of fact, I have video as we were walking toward the back of the Capitol. There were no signs. There was no signage. There was no police presence. There was only one bicycle barrier that had been knocked down that was about 5 foot wide that some people were walking over. And on video, I said, I'm not doing that. And I went off to the side. But there was no understanding that A, you were on the grounds of the Capitol, and B, that you were trespassing. We were following the crowd. So that's important.
Joe, you get back to New York, and you round up your buddies and you're showing them. You're a video guy. You took a bunch of footage. We've seen it. It's really good stuff. And you were showing your footage to your friends and presumably telling them about what happened. And then I don't know if this guy was a neighbor. Somebody spotted this and turned you into the FBI. Who did that? And did you know the guy before?
Yes, he's a neighbor. And what happened was I didn't know what he had done until I was actually in the hospital after I got the stroke from the raids in February. What happens is this guy, he misheard because I was talking about my photography. He called the FBI tip line and claimed that I was in the Capitol. In fact, you see him in police state, and you see him. This is a guy who was a neighbor. When I used to have an annual dinner with neighbors at a local restaurant, I invited him. I included him. Never a problem with him. But for some reason, he decided, because he was bragging about it when I was in the hospital that first night. He was telling neighbors, oh, I called, Part of me tells me that he was just wanted to, he and maybe a couple of other people wanted to dethrone me as president of the Bloc Association because they were very envious of the things that I did. But regardless, in 1938 Germany, thousands of Jewish families were picked up in the middle of the night and transported to their untimely death by neighbors who would drop a call and say, Juden next door, and the Gestapo would pick them up the next night. This is what we're living in now, where one neighbor can mobilize the entire FBI to issue search warrants to 2 locations. I mean, what's the cost of that alone? And
not to mention, Joe, it doesn't seem like the FBI made any independent effort to confirm that you, in fact, were inside the Capitol, because had they done that, they would have seen right away that tip or no tip. They get tips all the time. You're looking for this bad guy. I think it's my neighbor down the street. But you think the FBI would check to make sure. And if it's not the right guy, they'd be like, okay, well, that tip didn't pan out. But in this case, as you say, they mobilized 2 raids, one on your apartment and another one at your mother's apartment where you were looking after her. I guess she was in a rehab center. Now, Let's start with the raid at your mother's apartment. Did that one occur first, or did the two of them occur simultaneously?
Pretty much simultaneously, because the timestamps on the video at my apartment was exactly the time that they had me in custody.
So they had two separate kind of units, one going to your apartment, another one going to your mom's apartment. And
Yes,
and let's take a pause because we're at the end of our segment. I want to start a new segment going into the raids themselves and the experience of them. So we'll be right back with Joe Bolanos. Debbie and I are on a really good health journey, but we still struggle to eat enough fruits, veggies, and fiber, and those are a requirement. Now, lucky for us, we discovered Balance of Nature, and there's no better way to get all your fruits and veggies plus fiber than with Balance of Nature. This is Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule, so easy to take, made from fresh whole produce. The produce is powdered after an advanced vacuum cold process, which stabilizes the maximum nutrient content. And this is Balance of Nature's Fiber and Spice, a proprietary blend of fiber and 12 spices for overall and digestive health. Join Debbie and me. Start your journey to better health right now. Call 800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. You get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code AMERICA. Again, that's balanceofnature.com, or you can call 800-246-8751. Get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code AMERICA.